Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel, Asarai here. Riot Games graciously allowed me to participate in an early access session for the upcoming agent, Yoru. To get things started, Yoru hails from Japan, designed as the infiltrating duelist using an array of tools to reposition himself and bamboozle opponents into going crazy because of how tricky this mofo is. Also, I'll be playing some early access Yoru footage in the background while talking about the agent himself. For your convenience, I put timestamps on the video description so you can peruse the stuff you're interested about. Ready? Let's get fan-frickin' started. Firstly, we'll go through a quick rundown of his abilities. I'll give my impressions at the later part of this video. Fake Out. Equip an echo that mimics footsteps when activated. Fire to activate and send the echo forward. Alt Fire to place an echo in place and use the inactive echo to send it forward. Second ability, Gate Crash. Equip to harness a Rift Tether, fire to send the tether out moving forward, and Alt Fire to place a tether in place. Activate to teleport to the tether's location. Third ability, Blindside. Equip to rip an unstable dimensional fragment from reality. Fire to throw the fragment, activating a flash that winds up once it collides with a hard surface in the world. And his final ability, his ultimate, Dimensional Rift. Actually, Dimensional Drift. Equip a mask that can see between dimensions. Fire into Yoru's dimension, unable to be affected or seen by enemies from the outside. The next segment of this video is how is Yoru as an agent? I'll be trying to answer this by starting off with questions so that we have a little bit of gauge on how I really feel about this particular agent with the first impressions or the early access that I was allowed to experience with him via, of course, Riot Games. So the first question of all is, as an agent, how is he? I feel like Yoru will fill that role of infiltrator, as is his description, duh. But having him will definitely add a new dynamic because you'll be seeing more people try and be more creative with how they lurk and get past enemy defenses, while also having some insane outplay potential just from his abilities alone. It's not like Raze, like you can throw out nades and deal damage, but your ability to pop in and out of different corners is nothing short of godly when you show off your spatial awareness. Next question. Do I think he's overpowered? Definitely not. He has the vibe of the greatest outplayer agent due to his teleport, flash, and repositioning abilities, but they're not perfect. Valorant devs have definitely added some faults in there, so there is a chance for outplay, but he is crazy to fight against. For example, you're fighting Yoru and he's right in front of you, right? A second later, he flashes you, then he's behind you without you noticing. Definitely one of the things that you have to do when you're fighting up against the Yoru is awareness. Being aware is key. Yo! And last but not the least, what do you think Yoru's impact will be for players, considering or gauging them from beginners to the pros? And this is coming from the perspective of a Southeast Asian player that ranks in high diamond to low immortal. For beginners, I don't think he'll have the craziest impact due to the fact that Yoru, based on his abilities alone, require a lot of proper execution and timing. Not saying he won't be good or usable or dare I say it fun, he's definitely going to be fun, but it'll definitely be a learning curve to use his abilities effectively, especially chaining them together, which I think is going to be one of the kind of crucial things about Yoru, is knowing when to throw this, when to throw that. And that's going to be the crucial thing that Yoru aspiring mains will have to understand compared to the other agents. For the pros, I think he'll have great impact on the meta. He is, in my opinion, a duelist type OMEN on steroids, because he can create so much confusion and avenues of entry, which would also mean having a sentry like Cypher and Killjoy would be a good way to answer his aggression, as is with a lot of duelists. Here's my favorite and last part of the video. Yoru's abilities have limitations. I think a lot of people are already seeing this particular agent as overpowered, right? But honestly, there are some things that the Valorant devs have done to create that little bit of a barrier so that Yoru isn't like totally god tier, like ultra instinct, you know, Super Saiyan modes. In any case, at first look, Yoru seems like such an impressive agent, which he is, but not to the point where he cannot be stopped. So here's a few things we figured out with Yoru during the brief time we played with him. Take note, this might not be the full scope, as I don't have godly imagination to try everything out, and we did have only a brief time to play with the particular agent, but at least we tried. Uwu. All of Yoru's abilities are visible to opponents with the exception of Dimensional Drift, his ultimate. Also, his Fake Out ability triggers a lot of traps, including Cypher's Tripwires, Killjoy Turret, and Alarm Bots, and even Raze's Boombot. Both Yoru's Fake Out and Gate Crash cannot pass through walls or go to higher ground or lower ground without ramp or stairs, e.g. places where you need to jump. But you can throw them at an angle, so they can go bounce or like kind of angle themselves diagonally on the walls. Aside from his abilities, can go both up or down stairs, so that's pretty good. Yoru's Fake Out cannot be destroyed, but Gate Crash can. You can shoot the orb to stop Yoru from teleporting to it. It does take, from our quick testing, about 3 Vandal bullets to break a single Yoru orb, so it's not the easiest, but it's not also the hardest to destroy. Blindside, his flash ability will pop if you bounce it. If you just throw it in the air, it will just fizzle, resulting in the ability doing nothing. As for the bounce height, which I think is the more important thing about this, it seems like there's a minimum bounce distance or bounce height for his flash, which is incredibly, not really incredibly, but significantly high. This means that however you angle the blind side, it will still bounce at a certain height, no matter how low you try to go about it. So it was done like this so that you can't low bounce it like a Phoenix curveball, which makes sense since it might make the ability a bit too strong. This at least allows opponents to still react through the flash, and well, no, at least there's some counterplay to it, because I feel like if you try to low bounce it, the way that curveball differentiates from this is that curveball obviously goes on a curve, right? So you can't immediately push out, but this one you can just throw it and you can actually push aggressively with it as well. So I don't know, that might be something that they did. Although, here's the thing I also discovered. You can bounce this off of anything and off of any direction. So you can bounce it on any particular flat surface, or any surface rather, and then you can bounce it also on the ceiling so that it arcs down, not upwards, so you can catch your opponent off guard when you're trying to be pushing, e.g. the hookah spot in Bind, right? If you throw it upwards on the ceiling, it bounces down. People won't be expecting that because they're going to be expecting it bouncing off the floor, so they might be looking at there to do that counterplay. And here's the last thing that we were able to kind of discover, you know, quote unquote, with Yoru's abilities. His ultimate, Dimensional Drift, is a great ability for scouting and getting behind enemy lines. There are pros and cons through our testing that we found, and here are some of them. So first and foremost, opponents cannot hear your footsteps unless you're at a certain distance near Yoru. Note the broken line circle around his ultimate. If you're inside that as an opponent, you will see and hear Yoru. Granted, you cannot shoot him, but you will be able to see where he goes for a set amount of time, a couple of seconds. But this also allows you to chase him down and basically, as he exits the ultimate, gun him down, because he's very vulnerable when that happens. When exiting your ultimate as Yoru, it has an incredibly loud fizzle sound that alerts opponents where you are, and it's really far. You can hear where it is, and you can actually pinpoint where the opponent was. I had a kind of like testing phase with Cloud9's Relic.
Dude, can one of you ult that? I just want to see, like, this is like, kind of like run by me on the ult.
Okay.
I'll handle this.
You're invisible.
What is this
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then he disappears again.
Then let's see how far you can hear me.
I'm back.
You hear
Oh
that?
yeah, I mean that's loud. You're like behind truck or something.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where Yoru is on that dimensional drift. And last but not the least, I think it's kind of basic, but people might still be asking about it. You cannot use any of his abilities while inside his ultimate or while his ultimate is active. Though I believe if you have his teleportation ability and you leave it at a certain location, if it doesn't expire and you get outside of his dimensional drift, you should be able to teleport back out and kind of do a positional outplay against your opponent. So all of these I will be having, or I will try to add some clips. If I don't, I just try to go for the description. So I do apologize if I don't have everything, guys, because again, time was limited. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that. If you enjoyed it, why not like the video? If you want to see more videos, why not subscribe to my channel? And of course, see you on the next one. Ciao.
Yep, got baited. Sorry.
Spike planted.
Oh, the fish just didn't come in.
Decoy.
One enemy remaining.
Gosh.
Anyone?
That outplay, dude.
Last round before the switch.
Really had bad aim.
Were you looking at it short the whole time?
I was.
Because of the footstep.
And,